Hey everybody, this is the Doll, and I'm going to be reviewing the second episode of Game of Thrones Season 3, Dark Wings, Dark Words, and I am in my nerdy lair to do this. Hope you enjoy. Alrighty, so this episode was enjoyable, however, it did have some weak elements in it, and I'm going to mention them later on. First of all, what was positive? Michelle Farley as Catelyn Stark stole the show in this episode. She has a speech after she finds out that, firstly, her father is dead, and also her two youngest sons, Bran and Rickon, have probably died in the burning of Winterfell. And it's so heartbreaking to hear her say this. She tells a story about when Jon Snow was a young child and he almost died, and she promised to treat him like her son, but after he got better, she couldn't keep her promise, and now she thinks that the death of Bran and Rickon is payback for that from the gods. And whether or not you agree with her, whether or not you think her treatment of Jon Snow had something to do with the situation, she conveys that pain so well, but also Catelyn's need to carry on. You know, she doesn't just go off into a corner and cry about it. She makes her wreaths that symbolize her motherhood and her love for Bran and Rickon. I think Michelle Farley did such an excellent job. Emmy voters, please watch her, please. Great scene. Michelle Farley gets this episode's Best Performance Award. There are also some other great elements in it where characters are introduced. The Queen of Thorns, Lady Olenna Tyrell, who's played by Diana Rigg, seems like such a great character. She's assertive, she's ambitious, she's witty. Just a great addition to an already diverse cast of female characters. And one thing that I love about Game of Thrones is that they have women who are feminine but who are also strong. Just because you have feminine qualities does not necessarily make you weak. Even Arya, who's such a tomboy, still tries to assert the fact that she's a girl when it's and is not ashamed of the fact that she's a girl, even when she has to hide it sometimes for safety. Two more great characters that were introduced, the Reed children. Now, if you've read the books, you know that they have a connection to the Stark past through their family that's very important. I won't spoil all of it, but their father, Howland Reed, is one of the people who was with Ned when he went to rescue Lyanna from the Tower of Joy, where she'd been taken by Rhaegar Targaryen. Those of you who are Thrones fans have different opinions and theories about this, but those of you who have not read the books, trust me, there are a lot of great things to come. But anyway, they're really cool, and they also stress the theme of partnership and how important it is to have a familial love, not pride in your family line, but a familial love like the Starks do. You know, there's a brother and sister, Mira, and the boy is the seer. Like Bran, he has visions of the future, he can predict things, and his sister is more the fist of the family. She protects him, she knows how to take care of them. And the way they act with Bran is wonderful. And another thing that this episode did really well was harken back to the storyline before that happened too. You see this dream that Bran has at the beginning, and it has Jon Snow and Robb Stark in it. You get to see these three brothers together that you loved so much in the beginning, even if it's only for a moment, and it brings you back to the family, to the heart of this story. And so the show did that really well. One major weakness of this that nothing much happened in terms of advancing the plot. You know, there was nothing with Daenerys. Jon Snow was kind of glanced over. Even though we meet Olenna and we meet the Reed children, we just meet them. Nothing advances. They don't do anything. They don't advance the plot in any real way. This episode was a good introduction. It was not a very good way to drive forward the story, and considering the fact that they only have eight episodes left to do this in season 3, I really hope that we have some episodes that are more packed with action. It doesn't need to be violence, but action. Get the plot going. But overall, it was enjoyable. You know, if you're more into the fighting and the war and violence aspect of it, you're probably not going to like this one as much, but if you love the characters and if you love seeing new people introduced, even with such a large cast, then you'll probably really like this episode. Alrighty, and scene of the week would probably go to that one at the beginning. I think that Bran with his two older brothers was such a wonderful break from the story. We never see the Stark family together anymore, and again, it reminded the viewer of what others want and what they're fighting for, which is to be together, at least that family. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. I am the Doll, and if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below and feel free to subscribe. Have a great week, and I'll see you next episode.